Hello everyone and welcome back to another match of Roulette Rivals 16. We are still in this first round of the Swiss stage at the end of the first weekend of the tournament. And it's another debut match, of course, as it is round 1 between Hashashin47 and Soviet Dubov. A really exciting match with a really exciting shoutcaster, co-caster rather. Currymaker, hello.
Hello, glad to be here. Gonna be an interesting match, or sure, first match for both of these players, as you said before.
And it is, I think, a fascinating one for several reasons. I don't think I will, or we will, circle back to all of these points, but Soviet, a very established player, I think very narrowly didn't advance last tournament from the group stage to the knockout stage. He played in the Fight for 5th community event, so you can imagine he was a 5th place finisher. And Hashashin is also around that level, or has been around that level, also finishing 5th in these group stages, just not last year because he was on a longer break, but he is back now, and this should be a very exciting first match for both of them.
Indeed. They have faced previously, though, all the way back in RWC 2021. That's, yeah, I think you said 3 years and a little bit. 3 years, 3 months or something ago. They have faced already, and they tied back then. Maybe one of the players can now pull out a win here against the other, but a tie would also be a possibility. Maybe it will with this New York. Let's see, what have we got?
Well, another tie might be on the table, might be not, but on a map full of photo finish ties, we have Athena Savala's Electrocution as the IT worker as our first spin tonight.
Interesting spin, and both players spend at least a little bit in planning here. Hashashin first in though. Electrocution, I think it's not the easiest. It involves a bit of dragging, but the water cooler in Athena's side room behind her office, I think that's the best option you have for an electrocution.
Absolutely, I think the only realistic one even. About electrocution, it's interesting since it usually presents a loadout challenge. Or maybe just me, but I can sometimes forget to bring the taser, and I only have the EMP, which is for the evidence deletion, and that's only one half of the kill. You also have to either puncture with a screwdriver, going to be a big detour to get, or you bring a silenced pistol, which is another loadout slot you don't want to waste here. Or are you stealing a loud pistol and perhaps end the spin with a risky loud shot?
Lots of options. Let's see, Hashashin already in, picked up first data disk by Mateo Perez right at the start, grabbed the IT worker now and is heading upstairs. Soviet is not claiming the first data disk and instead immediately going for the IT worker. There is the extra calmer that you get by this detour to the IT worker, which might make this a little bit less loadout heavy. But we will see how both these players are gonna approach the issues you just mentioned.
Yeah, both players had some close moments in the last 15 or 20 seconds even. Hashashin had a head turn with the guard. So when you start with a spin and you check Mateo, this upstairs guard, Soviet is just passing by, can see the body and is an enforcer to IT worker, so can give you some head turn problems. Barely didn't happen. And then oh, it's gonna be a restart for Hashashin, gets into combat. I think that guard just turned around at a very unfortunate timing. I don't even see really. I think if snare was on.
Yeah, snare was on. Hashashin threw something at the camera while that guard was still up and looking at him. Which afterwards caused him to be in combat.
Oh, this is also tough for Soviets. Big head turns. And the camera whoosh as well. And throwing at the camera, and I think that will turn red. Oh wow, Soviet is still alright.
And all this for one data disk with a track that hopefully hit, but yeah, it did. Okay, that was aimed quite high.
Ooh, and the repercussion of those whooshes, it's gonna be one big peekaboo. Takes a while. At least it's not Athena, who's already back in the chamber.
Downstairs guard are blind as usual. Stairs, they're not their strong point, because we can see Fabian is just up the stairs along the middle, and the guards downstairs clearly cannot see them in any way.
Ooh, Hashashin getting super close with the whoosh again, with that enforcer I talked about, but is ready to get his second run. He had a much faster planning times despite this moderately sized one rip. He's only 1 minute in game time behind. Soviet needs to be sharp if he wants to win this.
We haven't seen the kill done by either player, but now we have seen that Soviet is in fact using a silenced pistol, probably to puncture the. What about also using it, for example, to kill this camera, and can even use it at the end to take out the cameras altogether, the evidence box in Athena's side room.
This is interesting that that's one guard turned towards the camera again, but looks like that KO was safe as well as the final one. So Soviet just waits for Athena to get out of her chair to make that disc accessible, and that seems like a successful Athena isolation.
You can't, sadly, just waiting for her to step a little bit forward isn't enough sometimes. I have ripped to that several times already, but we can see Hashashin on the other side also just cleared up the offer successfully while we were talking, and is dragging Athena in the meantime. So it is first grabbing the CEO exit card and clearing Cam, something Hashashin will have to do afterwards.
Hash is catching up nicely, and it seems that there's not a lot between the two of them, but it's barely seen on the two screens, sorry, but Soviet is on 2 out of 3 key cards, Hashashin only 1 out of 3. I think he should catch up though, because he didn't pick up Athena's disc yet. But that's gonna work out. And oh, I was gonna say that I didn't see a taser in Soviet's inventory. That was switched out during the planning phase, because I was pretty sure that he started with one.
That's the restart. In the meantime, Hashashin, I think, used the loud gun to get that water cooler to leak, and has done the kill now. There's a lot of bodies around here, though. So that gunshot hurt is gonna cause some troubles for sure. Another loud gunshot, but that one isn't even hurt because 2 doors. That next other NPC.
Yeah, this feels like a bit tricky for Hashashin, since if the final action of this spin will be in the loud pistol shot, then Hashashin would be out by now and the guards won't really cycle around. They are still pretty far away from the closest dirty body, but oh, that's a distraction. I think that means that the panic is over, and oh, we can see it on the picture. If the final one exits through the side room door, then I think it will be fine for the final 10 seconds.
Right, possibly running to the exit, and it looks like Hashashin is out with green guns. 6 minutes and 8. Bit of a longer New York spin, but kind of a tricky spin at that as well.
Yes.
But Hashashin will be taking this first map, most likely.
Such eventful first map, and then just you look at the timer, it was a little over 6 minutes. But it was 2 full runs from Hashashin. Not quite full run, but the first one was a pretty great leap, and Soviet getting... Well, it's not unlucky if you miss a part of your loadout, but you know, sometimes it's hard to think of it on your feet. Switch out the items.
Can happen easily, but hopefully not in this map, much less of a loadout restricted map, I would guess. Hokkaido, our next map, which was picked by Soviet.
And I wouldn't be a good caster if I didn't mention the world record, if it was beaten just earlier this day. I just happened to be the one to break it this time, but the first map record of the tournament was achieved this morning. I think at 2:33 was changed to a 2:27.
Very, very nicely done.
Thank you. That's all I wanted to say about it. We can talk about the other small item on that statistics overlay, which is the head-to-head. And we mentioned that they played one match together, and that one match featured a Mumbai and a Berlin, which won't be played today, but Hokkaido was played there. And on that faithful day, 3 years and 3 months ago, it was Hashashin who won that. Not only picked that, but also won that Hokkaido spin.
Hokkaido spin, which involved both a ninja kill and poisoning the stem cells. 2 of the things you don't see too often, especially ninja, requiring the starting location, poison stem cells, something very specific you have to do there. But the full spin was poison stem cells as chat for Eric Soders and SMG as ninja. Maybe they will receive the exact same spin again I doubt it, however, but the option is there.
Ooh, you are sounding a bit robotic to me right now. I'm not sure if something happened in the last 30 seconds, but hopefully it's gonna fix itself. In an unrelated note, I also forgot to share my screen to you, so we can be without delay. It's not that anything happened in the first map, I just like to do that and did forget.
That's true. Hopefully my robotic voice is better now. I just spotted Discord saying I got a higher ping on the voice call, but seems to have calmed down by now.
Now you sound as wonderful as ever, so no worries there.
Perfect.
Let's do the second spin. It's for you.
Just in
Let's test
time.
your voice.
Indeed. It's going to be Eric Soda's assault rifle as the yoga instructor and Yuki Yamazaki with the silenced SMG as the patient.
Yeah, apart from it needing 2 firearms, all it takes is the free patient disguise and the yoga instructor, which is usually 1k away. You sometimes like to take a trank for it, so even if you want to combine it with the Dematic for Yuki, this could be quite loadout heavy.
That is true. Silenced SMG is something you have to definitely bring in. I think AR as well, or are there? I don't think there are any assault rifles on the map.
I couldn't think of a guard who does. Could be technically one in the depths of the hospital, but it's never viable for these spins.
Actually, maybe in Yuki's suite, I could also see some guards just patrolling in there with assault rifles, but who knows?
Good point. And another point, which is well countered by Hashashin, is that there is no need for pneumatic if you are just going for the patient first. And it's going to be a nice snare timing, with advantage growing second by second because Soviet needs to replan quickly. And Hash just using the snail for this very quick first ISO.
A very quick first ISO and also a quick first kill indeed can be done just right there, right now. Switching to the bodyguards disguise, the hospital director is gonna a bit of a nuisance, but triple shotting them is gonna at least turn them around. Panicked, will still run at them and get spotted nonetheless though.
I was really looking forward to the rest of this run because this could have been a really nice in-game time and definitely under 3 minutes real time, and then you got to start thinking about if it's possible another new record by a few seconds, but it's not meant to be. It's a second run by Soviet and a second run by Hashashin as well.
Good evening.
Soviet now obtained the patient disguise. Looks to be something new, doing basically exactly the same what Hashashin has been doing a couple seconds ago. Dropping the snail, waiting for the guns to drop, and are gonna just shoot Yuki in the head with an SMG afterwards. Hopefully not headshot the guards behind them. That was a bit close there.
And also the big dilemma of spin, and looks like Soviet is gonna do the other choice in this situation. You don't want to go through this director and deal with his enforcer dot. On the other hand, you will have to somehow get through these doors trespassing.
Greetings, sir.
Or not, because I was gonna think that he would go through this door to approach the yoga instructor the closest way. But looks like it's gonna be the long way around and hopefully get the yoga instructor up the stairs.
Possibly. In the meantime, Hashashin has already done the kill as well. They swapped out an item in there. I'm not sure what an item in their inventory. Not sure what it was before, but now it's a durian that they used on the hospital director to get him out of the way. Kind of expensive, that durian, just to get the NPC out of the way and save a little bit of time.
Yeah, I would say it's expensive because like Process of Elimination says that Hashashin used the snail, Hashashin used the durian. He has no more gear with needing to use the assault rifle later on, and he pried open the door so that he gets through there as the yoga instructor. I think that's the best part of the Hokkaido spin, just getting through this puzzle aspect of the RFID door, sorry. It looks like Hashashin's final objective is now complete and he can get 2 soldiers.
Indeed, very nicely done, yeah. And Soviet Dubov, although on the other side, not too far behind either, using a key hacker. Didn't have to pry the door open with anything, and this could be a very close finish. Both players now on the final kill.
This is so unfortunate for Soviet though, because his smuggle is at the morgue and not on the way like Hashashin's. Hash will exit in 5 seconds and Soviet will be 15 or so seconds behind. Technically a photo finish and Soviet does have very long loads, but it could be the map just because of the smuggle spot he used.
Not that he fully understood.
Yeah, there it is. 4 minutes 28 by Hashashin. So yeah, it now finally hits Soders. Run the other way outside.
This is the type of photo finish which I wouldn't be sure to call. I think Soviet used to have one of the longest loading times in the community, but that was, I would say, 2 or 3 years ago, and I don't know if you upgraded.
That's fair. Times are in something of 20-30 seconds between them. I'm sure we'll get official numbers soon, but yeah, it's gonna be tight either way. Not sure what the correct option is here. I mean, there also were a couple of loads, so for the finish calculation might just take a little bit.
Yeah, hopefully for Reaper. The Reaper 47 is our admin. Soviet's 2 loads, if there are indeed 2 loads, because I only remember his second run started a good 2.5 minutes into the run, so could be another quick replan there, I'm not sure. But 2 or 3 loads should hopefully tell us a lot about this photo finish, and either Soviet cannot catch up from this 27-second disadvantage, or
26.67, by the way.
Wowzy.
We just got the official numbers in, and the players have been informed that it is a photo finish, and it looks like Soviet is gonna have that one calculated out,
which is entirely fair. I think if you're a PC player, you have a good estimate on how long your loads are, and those are usually less than 10 seconds, so you know that it's not enough.
Reaper messed up though, because Reaper wrote that Soviet pressed 26 seconds earlier, which is incorrect because Hashashin now said they were gonna forfeit the photo finish. But it should be the other way around.
I need to resist the urge, and you are already typing, but it's neat to have like both players should be aware of the situation. It will probably not be good news for Soviet's mindset, seeing that, you know, an almost guaranteed win and almost guaranteed loss.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough, definitely. I assume Reaper's already deep in calculations.
Yeah, I wonder if it needs a ping, but I'm sure Reaper will check on the chat first.
Exactly.
And that's the tricky part. Sorry, Hashashin says that the loads are 2-3 seconds long, so if Soviet does indeed have the monstrous 15+ second loading times like he used to have a couple of years ago, then there's no photo finish where the opponent is safe anymore.
Yeah, I mean, the Soviet did have slow loads where we're not short for sure.
Let's see how that goes.
It will have a little bit of a wait while, and it should be apparently 3 loads in total. Hashashin 1, Soviet 2. So yeah, as you said, either Reaper is going to count out Soviet's loads first and see that he can't catch up, or if he can still catch up afterwards, he'll have to count Hashashin's load as well and see what the difference is going to be there. And as you said, it could really go either way. It could even come down to a tie in the end if Soviet's load were longer but not long enough to swing it around entirely.
I just love the playfulness of the situation. Hash did make it sure that he, I guess, revised or revoked the forfeit, just in case someone takes it seriously that he would forfeit from a 27-second advantage.
That would be certainly a first time, I think.
But it looks like Reaper did get the correct info and has the correct results for us. If you want to take it, Corey?
Yeah, it is. Soviet did only load for 20 seconds across his 2 loads. Not enough to catch up the 26-second difference that Hashashin initially had. So Hashashin wins Hokkaido and will take a 4-0 lead.
Something to keep an eye out on, because it was 10 seconds for this small Hokkaido. I imagine it would be close to double in Haven, and well over 20 seconds for the big maps of Season 2, including Miami, of course. But yeah, it's unfortunate. It really did come down to which smuggler to choose, and for the longest time, Morg was the muscle memory. It's you know where it is. There's no challenges to get there from either starts, including Surgeon or, of course, anywhere in suit. Just was unfortunate for Soviet that Garage was the choice this time around, but which is not over, and he can start his comeback in Haven Island.
Definitely. Garage would, not Garage, but Morg would also still be my muscle memory all the time. I still have to practice to like not use Morg smuggle every time, but rather Garage. Or actually, at least think about which one I actually want. But yeah, as you said, we're going to Haven Island. Soviet hasn't been around here a whole lot previously. As you see, lifetime performance is 0-1-0, and therefore no personal best either. On the other side, Hashashin 3-8-0, not the best in terms of win rate, but certainly has played the map at least 11 times. Personal best of 15 minutes. Depending on the spin, that can already be enough to win a match here.
Yeah, Soviets last and I guess only Haven was in 2022 World Championship group stages against codename Kenny, or K Kenny Z, and that was a win by Kenny, so that's why you have the one loss. And although Hashashin's win rate is not the best either, his last tournament also featured 2 Havens, a loss against Channel Joint and a win against Buck. So it's difficult to say, because sometimes you say that, oh, he played this in the last tournament, so he should be familiar with the map, but that last tournament was more than a year ago for Hash.
Yeah, certainly. The experience on Haven is not necessarily something either of them can really fall back on. So it is going to come down who prepared better, who practiced more, and who might just have the better intuition, better planning from the start, which can really narrow down. I mean, we see both players already pre-selecting the private villa start, which is usually the one to go. Almost similar, pretty similar loadouts: Seeker, Blue Egg. So we're currently opting for a crowbar and a sniper rifle, while Hashashin a dart gun and a breacher, possibly for the screen, but unsure if it's going to be needed just yet. But the spin is arriving.
Yep, for the first... No, sorry. I guess it is the first match point, possibly the last spin of this match. We have Tyson Williams, Barbara as a resort staff, Steven Brady, Loud SMG in the gas suit, and Ludmila Vechova kitchen knife as a waiter.
Not too bad, I think.
Kinda classic, melee Loud. No next snaps, no freebies.
I mean, the loud kill on Steven, not going to be an issue most likely anyways, because you can just isolate him in the bathroom.
Yeah, the melees kind of mean that there will be some backtracking or just detouring for those items, trying to think. The kitchen knife and the waiter would kind of be close by, in and around the restaurant area, so can imagine it will be the usual Ludmila timing with this meta. Tyson's Barber Razor is not too far from him either. If you don't want to go all the way to the Shark Hut, it's of course just a resort staff that will be quite a trek to get. And yeah, the gas suit will be interesting. Also in the Loud SMG, which I hope will be stolen. Always nice to see that. The bodyguard will have it, and Shashin keeps green guns. I was fairly sure that someone would find the body, but he gets going, and so is Soviet.
Indeed. Both players currently working on just standard Tyson isolation in the cinema. Hashashin just did so. And Soviet currently entering the cinema, and as I said, that bodyguard has the SMG on his back, which is conveniently loud as well, so can be easily used for that kill.
The one thing I want to be personally looking out for, and it won't be for several minutes until it gets important, is each of these players have a breaching charge, because in an otherwise very straightforward spin, I imagine the final, the Tyson kill will be the one that makes the difference, and if one of them have the breaching charge, he turned I think wasn't Hash red anyway?
It was red from Tyson, anyways. Yeah, it wasn't the gunshots that, or maybe as well, but definitely was red before. So I'm not sure why he restarted there either. He did have a bit of a difficulty shooting the cam box. Took him 3 shots. So yeah, maybe I was just eager restarting.
Yeah, it does feel like that Hash thought that he ripped there, but I think we're all in agreement that he wasn't, so I was just a bit unfortunate to do that, giving a minute and a half lead to Soviet, who is slowly but surely making his way down to the gas suit. I didn't see if the... Well, since he became the bodyguard, he is very much aware of the loud SMG that he carries, so I would hope that he goes back up to the ground floor and takes it into a briefcase and exits with it.
Hopefully. I mean, yeah, the gas suit can't carry loud SMGs, so not bringing it down here is certainly helping. Twitch is saying that Soviet smuggled a loud SMG. Possible as well. I guess the spin isn't as loadout heavy that you couldn't fit in a loud SMG or anything, but yeah, might have been a bit easier to just pick it up on the map.
Thanks a lot, Pidgey. That, of course, makes the whole spin easier for Soviet. I think Hash put a trank into the briefcase, so once he puts the trank out, I can imagine it making the spin a bit quicker in certain places, especially with the Resort Staff Waiter double grab, which is otherwise very notorious disguise grab at the bottom of the, or right below the restaurant area. So I imagine Hash will catch up a little, but it's honestly so hard to see which approach will be quicker. And otherwise, Soviet has a minute and a half lead still.
And yeah, that minute and a half lead is could be the deciding factor here. Is not opting to run around and go for Steven immediately, which I'm really curious about. Exactly sure about the timing when he's going to leave for his private island, but I very much doubt that has happened already. Yeah, no, he seems like he's just going the long way around towards Stephen Bradley.
Steven finishes his conversation with the snorkel instructor at 4:05. Otherwise, I sometimes find it at as late as 4:20, especially from Villa start. So he is definitely fine. That we can see Steven's turning around. And if not at the usual spot, then from any other bushes he will still make a nice seeker spot, but he needs to make it calm. He needs to be a bit closer. On a moving target, this will be sketchy. If I were Soviet, I would just move so much closer to him.
Yeah, that is quite a sketchy location. This straight line where he's walking is the real...
Oh, you Jews there, I'm sorry.
That was really close. He walks in a pretty straight line here, though, which is usually a good point to seeker. You can even basically like stand directly behind him.
That's a safe start for Soviet, but troubles do not end. That guard will stagger and kind of turn around like that. I was imagining that it would happen in a couple of seconds. He will stagger once more. Luckily the door closed. And I think he can just KO. Oh, I don't like that head turn, but once he goes inside and closes that second door, he will complete the toughest kill of this spin, but such a close call for Soviet.
Yeah, this is certainly this guard is not friendly oftentimes.
Go ahead.
Barring opened this door now and drags Steven to the side room. I'm not sure. I think the toilet itself would have been fine, whereas the side room isn't.
Yeah, with that door open, now it's not soundproof from two sides, and what would have been fine for the two NPCs in the same spot will... I mean, there's a very little chance that he will be found later, but I think it's still fine. What's more important is that the dragging and the extra actions on Soviet side was counteracted by Hash being super efficient with his Steven part, and I would argue that he is back in the lead.
Yeah, and if not the lead, at least very, very close to it. You can see both players have arrived at Ludmila Petrova and are securing her. Hashashin already did so. Looks like Soviet might be searching for a spot or grab disguises first, and delaying that Seeker is going to cost him a lot of time, as basically every second that is spent with Ludmilla not Seekered as a second spent waiting later.
Yeah, I can't say I understand the delays here. This would be just so crucial to get Ludmilla sick as soon as possible and just work on the disguise in the meantime. Maybe Soviet wasn't confident that he could get the disguise at an opportune moment. Gets the
Or he
two
wasn't
pieces
confident
down,
with the Seeker spot.
Yeah, he does have one more dart, or he should. He didn't see the second one being used anywhere.
Yeah, in the meantime, Hashashin has just picked up the Ludmilla kill and only needs not Stephen Riley, but Tyson Williams now. Has the disguise already cleared up in this room. Yeah, Barber Razor in his inventory as well, and just needs to get to Tyson again and do that final kill and exit.
Oh, perhaps one of the reasons for Soviet's uncertainty was not knowing where the kitchen knife would be. Because he went into the restaurant and saw the cleaver, and now he's approaching the kitchen knife, but he's also missing the window on any reasonable Ludmilla mimetic timing.
That is true. Ludmilla exiting there, that's not good timing. That chef is standing on top of the stove now. It's a new strategy, but certainly nothing that helps Soviet here.
This is just a huge problem for Soviet, because it would have been much more competitive if he made Ludmilla sick literally minutes ago. Because now I don't know what will happen at this bar area, and this is going to make it much simpler for Hash to make this second try successful. 7 minutes down and 3 kills out. Just needs to exit and get this sweep done.
Hopefully not exiting through that door to the cinema, as there are quite a lot of bodies lying around, and if you open that, there's a good chance that an NPC on the top floor would just immediately spot a body, turn the run to a rip. But yeah, as you said, Hashashin is approaching the exit rapidly, and the second try, 7 minutes 17 in-game time, 9 minutes 55 real time. It's going to be Hashashin's winning time for this map, and therefore the match. And nicely done.
Yep, after a little over 1 year break, Hashashin returns to Roulette Rivals with a victory in the first round of R16. Of course, that's a good start for him. First point, closer to the top 16, and he might be in the top 16 at this point. With Soviet also having the chance to return there, but he will start his tournament with a loss. To be exact, and by interacting and highlighting it fancily, Currymaker is leading the Swiss stage. I will never stop saying this. For whatever reason, it's not even alphabetical, since
maybe Apricop is also sign up order.
Maybe if you were a quick sign up, then you just
wasn't super quick, but I was decently early. I felt like, I don't know. Anyways,
Hashashin is technically third, but what matters is that he has the point. He's tied with everyone at 1 point. Tiebreakers will not be necessary to look at for the next couple extra weeks. And we can also check Soviet Dubov is currently number 28, but for all intents and purposes, he's tied with everyone 17th and below. So that's the pool he will get his second opponent from. And also Hashashin will get someone who's won in the first round. They said it's the players with uppercase names and then alphabetical. That's just for our next cast to figure out.
I just checked because Hashashin did sign up before me, so and if we're tied in standings and in every tiebreaker, that would make sense that I'm placed above. Maybe it's alphabetical and uppercase. Anyways,
beautiful. But yes, we are stalling, and I apologize for that. We have another match ongoing, and it just started 5 minutes ago, so hopefully not missing much of the action. But we have TK47 versus Fusk as this final match of the Sunday action, final match of the first weekend action, and we are going to check out the Gleibach.
And match hasn't started yet even. We had technical troubles. They still got 2 minutes till their first spin, I think.
Oh, perfect.
So yeah, we haven't missed anything, and we can just immediately go into the action over
And
there.
that's what we will do. And with that, I would like to say thank you to Reaper47 for adminning, and also thank you Currymaker for co-casting.
It's been a pleasure. Glad to be here.
Glad to have you. GG's to both players, and thank you all for watching, and until next time, see you everyone.
Bye bye.